Now recording. Today is Saturday, March 24th, 1 p.m. Pacific Time. We're doing webinar number 16A on WXLive.USA. And what we're going to do today is we're going to introduce the WXLive community open source project spearheaded by the one and only Harley Man, Andy Stapleton.
Afternoon, everybody. Morning to those clear across the pond one direction and down under on the other. Glad to see all of you here. Okay, John, Gary, Chris. Hey, what we're going to go through, and we're going to talk about the SCM a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to show you the a common SCM, and I'm going to give you the connections to it. Okay. What we're going to try to accomplish, and I'm going to give you some of the idiosyncrasies that happen. We're going to have a repository SCM out here that's currently running on my machine. I've got a fairly large pipe here with cables, so it ought to work pretty well. The connection parameters to the SCM.
Wait.
What?
Not everybody's going to go in here. Just the contributors, right?
Everybody can go in here and take a look. There'll be a read-only password of what's there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We're going to go through all of it.
Okay.
Arnold, work with me, son. Work with me.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that by turning my mic off.
Thank you. The SCM is ccscowboy.dns.com/WXSCM. Okay, this is a client server. Write that down. Database. Take a screenshot. Whatever you need to do on that. Okay. There is going to be a username and logon that it will give you that will be read-only.
Andy, can you copy that onto that little welcome note?
I have no idea how. You mean what I got there?
Yeah, just go right-click copy and come on the note and see if you can put it on there. Maybe.
Oh, I guess you can. There you go. You mean that? How's that?
Okay. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is.
Can't read it. It'll be, the server name is CCS Cowboy. I'll post it in our WINDEV Live chat. Okay.
There we go.
So we'll put it over there in the chat. Okay.
Well, people can come here and grab it too.
That's true. They can come in there and grab it. Whatever.
I'm gonna move this pretty soon.
It's set up where the client server is ccscowboy.dns.com. WXSCM is the database you're going to. There'll be a read-only user ID and password, and this is how we're going to use this. On the WINDEV Live website, let me find that thing. On the WINDEV Live website, we have created an area here to show.
Hey, just start from home, and so they.
Okay, the idea. I got no problem with that. From the home directory or home when you log in, what you need to do then is go to your recordings and downloads. Then we're going to go take this drop list over here and go to open source projects. When you click that, that will be your open source projects. Now, here's my expectations with this is that that for everybody that wants to be involved, we're going to have 2 or 3 or 4 open source projects, and I'm going to go through the first one. And if anybody wants to be involved, such as that Pete and I have been involved with it, all you need to do is give me, let me know that you want to be part of that, and I will include you as a person that can be in the SCM and do some editing and downloading and things like that of the of whatever project that you're involved with. Okay. understand that a couple of we'll go through the tricks because it's you got to be careful about what you're doing. But what we're going to do here is we'll have each of these open source projects listed on WXLive. If you want that project, just click on it, download it. It is the entire project, source code and all. And you'll be able to edit it, put it to your own SCM, use whatever you want with it. I'm going to be putting out other ones out here, like my repository one. I'll put the repository one out here, taking out some of the proprietary stuff for TCS I have in there, taking out things like this. So each one of you can have what we're building. And if anybody out in the community also puts together something that they wish to share, we'll go through today how to use a backup of it. You can send it to Arnold, and he'll post it up here with a short description and things like this, so it can be uploaded and ready to go. If you wish to put it in the SCM, you can send it to me, and I will add it to the SCM with your name, because you get your own area if you're going to be doing this. The SCM right now has CCS. If Brian, as an example, if Brian wishes to have an area that he's going to share certain open source projects or open source things that he's going to share, then I'll make a directory for you, Brian. Same thing with anybody else that's out there, Pete, John, Gary, Jay, any one of you. If you want to share any of that stuff that's in there that you're building, you can use this. Frankly, if you want to use the SCM for yourself, I don't care. I'll create your own directory, and you can go ahead and do it. And you can use my offline servers up here as much as you want. I got a 5 gig upload anyway, so it's faster than a lot of them, and it'll work out nicely, and you can keep your own stuff in here as far as I'm concerned. Tricks on this thing, though, and you got to kind of understand it. When you log on to your WINDEV, yes, Pete. When you're logging on your WINDEV, do not change your connection to it to anything. Leave it right where it is. Don't mess with that at all. If you need to go to the SCM, make sure that you are at this level, the WINDEV 16, no open project at the time. Okay? Because the SCM is, once you have connected to it, and this is what happens, once you have connected to a SCM, get one up here and I'll show you what I mean. Once you have connected to one SCM and try to go through to another one, and you say, well, let me connect to a different one, it will not let you. It won't let you change. Okay? So the idea of being into one SCM and then jumping over to another one to get something ain't going to happen. Hence the reason why we decided to use the website to be able to download this stuff. So you won't be able to do that. So the only way to get to this or get to the other SCM is to literally be on a blank screen. Then you can go to the SCM. You can go to the SCM administrator, and I can now change easily over to the other one. Okay? And I now have the new one. Okay? So you cannot be in any application. Cannot be in any application at all. I believe that probably what the reason is they put a header in the WDK file and or the WDP, I believe it's called, the file, the project file, and it says you're connected. That's it. Okay. If you are going to share one up here, open source, and want to share something with somebody else, make sure it's not connected to your SCM, because now wherever it's connected here is where it stays. It's going to be connected here from now on. Okay. Any questions on the SCM at the moment? Any questions on that? We'll kind of do that, and as we go through this, we'll go through a little bit more. So if you have any questions, feel free to put it out in the chat. We'll address them. Okay. You can easily, once you open this up, get the get the latest version of whatever you want checked out, ready to go, and go from there. That's easy enough to do, and then you can go on and move forward. I would suggest that you go ahead and, if you want to use this, download it. I'm going to go through what these is and what Pete and I went through to build this for. One of the features that WINDEV already has is it has its control center, which has its project management, incidents, different things like this, as well as it has a feedback module. If you look through your custom, if you look through your components, you'll find that there is example components. One of them is a feedback module is what one of them is. Right here, the CC feedback is it. This user feedback component can email or directly tie to your control center. We had gone through this on a previous webinar. The problem with it is that personally, as a small team, independent developer, things like this, it's a little bit cumbersome for outside development or team development in an internet environment. It really just was real difficult to deal with. So Pete and I went back and forth, and we decided we'd build our own feedback module, emulating basically the same thing as what WINDEV has, and I'm going to go through that and show you. Now, you're able to go to the website. You can download this whole thing. You are able to go ahead and put your own image in here, your own information, and go through each piece of this puzzle and fix it up however way you wish. Then I'm going to show you how it works. Inside the, and I believe we've gone through this before, inside the code, it will send the XML to a MS SQL database, and inside there is scripts for creating the database as well as using it. If you use this one directly out of the box, you're going to send it to mine. Okay? But basically that's what it is, and you send it 3 different sets of information in order to get this working, which is the request, an incident, and a setup. The setup is where you send it your logo file, your title, and the statement you want. Okay, that's what you do. You're going to call it from the program, and I'll show you how to call it from the program with just a simple init, which says, okay, I'm ready to go. Here's my information. And you're either going to call a open or a silent ability, deal to use this. What it does is when it's finished, it sends the XML to the MS SQL database, and then you're able to use it in your program. You're able to see from your customers either an incident that happened or a suggestion from them, however you wish to use it. And I'll show you the program itself. Okay. This is the program. So when you click on, when you have this and select your project, you now have your incidents and things like this that have happened. Okay. That's what it's for. Okay. So everything that I do in the program basically sends it directly here, and you're off and running. And you're able to update. And we have gone through this project before in a previous WINDEV, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it unless somebody wants to see something, particularly with it. Okay. So let's get back to how this works from your program standpoint. I have implemented this in a little budget manager program that I put together. And on the main screen is where we have this. As you can see, it's right up here. And all that is a little button. And all it does is set. You don't need that. All we do is we set set the information that we're going to send to it for the info, which is nothing more than the title, things like that, the project name, the pending, and then we want the exe version of it, and we send off a new request. Okay. When you run this screen, any questions you go ahead and ask in the middle of this, because I know not everybody has seen this.
I'm hoping to call that from my Clarion app.
You get in trouble. You will get in trouble. Terry will get you. As you can see, when I click this, I bring up that screen. Here's that screen that I put in. This is the text request, and I make a suggestion. I say, new window. And I'm going to say this is a suggestion, new window to be called from CW. Okay? And I send that to support. Tells you, and you're done. Okay? That's all it does. Now, when you go into the ProjectPro, on the other side of the coin, and you have that project there, and go in here, and I look at the requests. I have the new window right here that says, there it is, new window to be called from CW. That's all it is. Allows me to set a status for it, everything dealing with it, everything kind of smooth and going. If you didn't have the project in the database, it would create it right off the bat. Okay? So even if you don't have the project, they're going to throw that in there fairly quickly. Okay? It'll create it for you, and this makes it a little bit easier from a single part how to do things and keep things up. If you want to be part of this open source to help further develop it, feel free to ask. You know, we're not proprietary. It is already set up inside the program to do HPFS for client server there, Postgres, and MS SQL, all three. Okay? And as you run it, it'll help you set that up. We'll be glad to help you get that going. But if you want to be part of that, and help us develop this into a much larger project system, absolutely, we'll be glad to get anybody in the middle of that. Okay. But I just needed a better feedback module than what was there, is what it was. Okay. So the SCM is going to be an area where we can do open projects together. Let me get my blank back up here. And this is where that we can throw things up in the repositories and stuff like that for anybody to pull down, code snippets, things like this. So the one thing that we will get everybody that wishes to use this, I will get you a user ID and password. I would say use the same user ID as you use on your SCM. It seems to be easier if you do that. So if you use the same user ID, it don't have to be the same password, but same user ID as the one in your SCM, then you can use this one as well. It just seems to be easier to do that. And the repository will be there. We'll create your own if you want one, and everybody will be able to download the repository and put things in the repository that way. Projects, if you want to be part of an open source project like this CCS Feedback and CCS Project Pro, what we'll do is give you access to it. You can help build it, and then once a month we'll get together and we will snapshot it off with a branch and zip it up and put it back out on the website as a new version with updated functionality. Okay, is what we'll end up doing. Pete, can you talk yet? Obviously not. So, let's see if anybody got any questions on this.
Let's see. Why isn't it Pete getting on there?
I don't know.
He has a mic.
Yeah. I think he needs to drop it down and connect it is what he's got to do.
Yeah. Hey, Pete, go to that mic or go to Meetings, Audio Setup Wizard and run through it, please.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes,
Oh,
we can hear
big.
you now.
Yeah, my fancy new headset mic's not working apparently.
Yeah, take it down a notch though.
Yeah, you're a little bit loud. Okay. Now, I've also set up this repository to have areas for WebDev as well as Windows Mobile. So we'll have Windows Win Mobile as well as WB. So if there's anything that people wish to share, I put a repository in each one of them, and we'll get things together. Okay. All I need you to do is go ahead and Skype me privately with whatever user ID that you wish to use, and I will get you connected. And if you have any trouble, I will help you connect to it, and that will get you started.
Well, I was able to connect, so it isn't that hard.
Yeah, it can't be hard. Arnold did it.
Yeah.
And
First time.
It can't be that difficult. So, anybody have any questions on this? Anybody wish to discuss further anything else?
Anybody has some ideas of projects they might want to put up there?
Yeah. So
do you guys
here
think it's worth
here
our
comes
time
the other
doing this?
teaser
Not,
because you
man.
saw one teaser. No, nobody saw that teaser, did they? Nobody saw that teaser.
I did.
No, you didn't. Terry's back here. He didn't. You know, he's done drinking his Kool-Aid. So
Here, I'll knock him out.
okay, kick him out. You can give him a mic. We can give him.
All right.
Go ahead, give Terry a mic.
Give Terry a mic. I'll give him a camera too, so we can see him.
See, Brian said he didn't see anything. Brian's my buddy. Mr. Mulligan. Anyway,
he should have a mic now.
okay. Yeah, he's got one. He's not talking. He's trying to talk. We
Terry?
are.
Okay.
There's going to be a big announcement here in the next
Next month.
Weeks. Next month, we're going to have a big announcement next month about a
exciting times.
Stuff happening in Nashville in November that everybody will want to make plans for. And
Early November, be ready.
That's right. We will be we'll be creating a full-blown project here in this SCM that you will probably see the names, but you won't be able to get to squat. But the idea is that we'll be building a full-blown project for November.
And if you're an attendee,
you're going to be able to get to it, use it, download it for yourself. Merry Christmas, the whole 9 yards.
But if not, you can only look.
You can only look, view, see,
but not the source.
Not the source. So the idea is that we will be developing this through the summer months for a full-blown training mission with everything through the year. And one of the things that we've talked about, and I think that I know I will be doing, whether or not that anybody else in the group, is doing the development will or not, I don't know quite yet. But if you are signed up to go and ready to go for the thing, you will be able to look over our shoulders on WINDEV Live, no recordings, and watch the development in progress and ask questions as you move along. So you'll actually, before you get to the thing in November, be able to watch and see how everything was put together along the way. So by the time you get there, you could teach, and I'll sit back and drink margaritas.
That's what I heard.
That's what I know. Terry, I still can't hear you, son.
So David's from South Africa. He says, any hints? We just gave you the hint.
I know it. Didn't we just tell him? David, we're going to build a hell of an application that's going to include, and I'm not kidding you, WINDEV, WebDev, and mobile.
Yeah. And I cannot tell you how excited I am because I've been wanting to do this for ages. And Andy said yes.
All three of them, and we're going to be training in November. We're going to be training in November, all three of those areas.
We're not waiting for Arnold.
We will be putting out a survey in April.
We're not waiting for Arnold?
To decide what database we're going to use, are we?
Postgres.
No, we're not going to wait for Arnold.
No, because he'll be another year making that decision.
Yeah, I know.
Well, is Pete on the line now?
Yeah, he's trashing you, buddy.
Wait, where'd my mic go?
Terry, give Terry back his mic. He went out and came back in. But yeah. But basically, what this is going to be able to do is that, you know, when we start firing this thing up from, and this is the cool part about it, from the time we start the analysis, the design of the database structure, the UML, the classes, the everything set up, you can, if you're already signed up and ready to go for November, you will be able to look over our shoulders
as we
develop the program for November. You'll be able to watch over our shoulders. So anybody that's working on a section, you'll be able to sit there and through WINDEV be able to watch them and pop a question if you need to answer a question. Things like that, which is really going to be the cool part. Because as we get into some of these technologies that we from the Clarion world and other places have never been involved with, it's going to be fun. I mean, especially if we start getting into mobile stuff, you're going to say, well, why in the heck did you do it that way? Yeah, I don't know. That's one way to get it done, though. Okay? And we're going to try to make sure that everything's ready to rock and roll by that time frame, because we'll have about 4 or 5 days to teach you all the good stuff and the highlights through. And I think it's going to be one of the different ways to teach people that I've ever known or seen in the past.
Yeah.
You know, realistically, to be able to look over the development of what you're going to teach and then teach. I've never heard anybody do that before. You want to give Terry back his mic?
Didn't I?
Now, he went out and came back in.
Oh.
So I think it's pretty cool. But feel free to use that feedback project if you want to use it. Feel free to change it as you wish. Okay.
And if you have some good ideas,
please let me know, and I'll put you in on the development of it, and we can move forward with the development of it, because I think it's a good little deal. I think it's going to be a slick little deal. So you guys can have
if everybody contribute a little module here and there, you know,
slick.
Community built and tweaked.
That's right.
Why should we all suffer?
In your programs, everybody be slap happy.
Yeah, and you know what? That's a lot of testing by a lot of different people.
Brian was asking what are the pitfalls of the original feedback app. The original feedback app, the only pitfall that I got with it is using the central, the control center. The control center was the biggest problem.
Separated it from that.
It was so difficult to manage through that control center. And then the other problem is that if you were trying to share the control center with someone through the internet, it was an absolute nightmare to get information. It would take too long to get the data. The other reason we did this feedback versus the other is because we have the ability in this feedback to send it to FogBugs. Because we're going to, because Terry Mulliken is a lover of FogBugs.
Is he really?
Yeah, well, we got believe me, we got over, how many we got in there? Something like that? How many,
There's a bunch.
There's a bunch. Anyway, we got a bunch. Fog bugs. So we want to email stuff to it, and this gives us the flexibility to do what we want to do with it. Add on new tools, add on things that we want to do. Use fog bugs with it as well as our own tools here. And the feedback module will allow you to do that. You're right, Brian. I did replace the control center with that app. This app here replaces the control center.
So Andy, does that know what window I'm on?
Yes, you can actually send it the window name you want. You're on. You send it the type. Like on an incident, you can have like on incidents is set up in here. Is that it has that it's a screen issue. What screen you were on? You see, I got where it says budget screen. Check register.
So reports, you can get it too.
I'm sorry.
What about reports? How do you get feedback that way from?
You just send it that you won't be able to press a button on the report, but it's on the window, so you can do whatever suggestion you want even for a report. But if you have an incident, which is a bug report, like the GPF reports that CapeSoft has, a GPF report, you send it through the silent one. Okay. And the silent one, let me show you that code there.
Oh, so there's a silent one, and they don't even know it's coming.
And basically, it allows you to set like this one says new request here. For request, that would be a silent incident, and basically it goes through the feedback. They never see a screen and it goes straight to your system.
Oh, nice.
That's what that one's for. So that way you can have a bug fix.
I have an error message generated, bad SQL statement, something like that. My message screen actually makes a call to log the error as well as reporting it to the user.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So you remember when I was overloading the error and going to trace with it and things like this? I'm putting this code in there as well. So if I get to that error, it's in one place in that overload section. Let me pop that up and show you where I'm going to be putting it anyway. I don't think I have it in this particular program, but I
might have to build this in Clarion, Andy.
No, you don't.
You're killing me, man. See, it's the silent request is the one you're going to be calling.
Terry, how can I use this right away in my Clarion app? That's what I'm asking.
Talk to me next week.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's what's foremost in my mind.
Basically, what I would do is on the global procedures here, I don't think I have an errors. No, there's error handling. In here, my error handling is I have it going to an error table, and I would, at this point,
Chris Cords, we're in the WX. We're in the WXLive site here. You're in the wrong. We're not at Clarion Live.
Yeah. But in here, what I would be doing is the CCS FB dot.
He's going to confuse Rick Martin right now.
And call it. I'll make some examples up there of calling it on text. I'm calling each one of them so you know how to do it. Okay. But that allows you to kind of set up. It allows you to set up and send anything you want, and that way you can get whatever issues you got going on there. Dashboard, so I can go back to.
So can I access all this data from a WebDev app?
We have not developed the WebDev app yet, but I am absolutely positively sure that someone with the valid, wonderful WebDev experience that they have will be glad to take this and move it to a WebDev as well.
It shouldn't be that hard.
No, it's really not that difficult.
No. In fact, maybe we should. No.
I think that should be one of the underlying components. I'm sorry?
Can you use the underlying components in a WebDev project?
Yeah,
No.
why not? There's no screen, is there?
Yeah, there's no screen. I mean,
Can you? I don't know. I don't know. Somebody got to be better on WebDev than I am. I really barely touched it.
Well,
So-
well, think about it. All the three things is just the UI that's different. The back end
Right.
processing
the
and
form
all that
itself
should be
is
the
what you'd
same.
be changing.
You mean you talking about the code? It kind of depends on what they would do from WebDev. I don't know how the server code works. Rathke's not out here, is he?
No.
I know you can actually have your code do it like a compiler directive that either calls open window or page display based on whether you're compiling from WinDev or WebDev. So
Oh, okay.
there's no reason you shouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you remember in class you told us that we could.
Well, what he's talking about making on WebDev there, Terry, is the Project Pro. So that way you have the project management up there on the web.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's slick. Now, if anybody wants to, right now this is set up for a single developer system. I can certainly set it up where it's log in and multiple people can use it. I mean, it doesn't bother me none. Everybody
think
can
you
have
should.
projects in here if they want to.
I think you should. I mean, you're going to have more than one project or.
Well, what
Hey,
I was thinking about is, see, like right now, these are my projects.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're talking about now is being able to have a login and specify, like a company module to piece to it where, like, Terry and I can go in there under TCS's stuff. Arnold and I and Pete and whomever else is in there is on the project for, November and, things like that is what that's not in here at all. This is more or less a single.
Well, just adding another layer on there is probably better
Yes.
to do it early on, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, you know what'd be interesting? Have you ever thought about writing a web dev part of fog bugs? Just because I just hate their.
I'm not real
interface.
fond of it either. I'm kind of with you, Arnold, but then again, Terry's,
Terry, we can have better query and viewing, and I mean, I just have and categorizing. Oh God, it just sucks.
You need to use some of their plugins, man. Their new platform allows plugins. You need to use those for all your categories and lists and checkboxes and all your custom fields.
I got to talk to you, but I think there's some.
They have 2 or 3 bugs to keep track of, so
Yeah.
big deal.
Yeah, well, we have a few more than that. That's for sure.
Yeah, we're probably going to hit 20,000 probably this next week, more than likely.
Yeah. I didn't know if he said 3 or 300. Well, the thing is, if you start a new project, when you do a new project.
Understand.
Well, Terry, when you talk about a new project, a lot of times it's not issues, but it's my my wish list or my to-do list that I want to use that for,
Oh yeah, and that's what that's really the reason I love FogBugs is because you've got you've got bugs, you've got features, you've got inquiries, you've got scheduled items, you can do maintenance, you can do all those things in pretty much 4 categories.
Yeah.
We have a slew of projects in there that both offices we have use, and it really, the more you use I think the more you look at what they provide, and some of their plugins that they provide are really kind of take it over the top, and those aren't defaulted into the original system.
Maybe that's my problem.
Yeah.
I gave up on it because I didn't put any of those in. I just dumped it to Excel and I said, you know what, I can do a better job in Excel.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you basically want just a listing of this is what I got to get done today. And
just to project out the next 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
and just categorize which the high priorities are, and what goes to what what release.
Yeah, but you got to be able to document the actual release notes too, and that to me, see, that's my job. I've got to go through the cases and say, okay, 90% of these were back end stuff we don't tell anybody about, but here are all the big feature cases that actually got done. So yeah, you got to segregate, the public stuff from the private stuff, from, like you're saying, the timeline stuff of how do I get there.
Yeah.
Yep. But it's all the same database, right?
Oh yeah, it's all there.
Yeah.
So
It's all
so
there.
so, but it isn't as easy to segregate them out with that unless there's some
All I
good
can say is
plugins.
be very, very careful if you go into the database itself.
Really?
Yeah, there's no referential integrity in it at all. It's all in the source.
So just do data mining.
Well, I've done that. In fact, I have the inklings, and I have a few things that you may even want to use from it, but that pulls the data into WINDEV. But bottom line, you go in there, you can't very well do a whole lot because if you go changing data without going through their software, their web-based software, you can
Do
really
they have
mess things up.
APIs, or they have APIs that you can call instead, or
I think they have some APIs, but I never got that far. I got so many other things going on that we didn't. I never tried to go that far.
yeah, that's too bad because I really wanted to use it, but I'll look into the plugins a little more. But if you're going to be tying this to it, that'd be kind of an interesting thing to think about. That's all I'm saying.
Well, the reason why this is going to be tied to it is that number one, this is more benefiting of like what I like to do. I'm sorry.
That's just the reason. The reason why is because of Terry.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
My development cycle is give me a listing of the things I need to get done, and I'll prioritize and I'll get them all done.
Right.
That's pretty much it. That doesn't necessarily work in our environment. Okay. As far as that's concerned. So because there are things that's moved around, stuff like that. So I understand the fog bugs and everything, and I've learned to work with it. Terry is an expert at it. But to me, my deal is I'd rather have that and say,
Tree low.
There you go. Give me what I'm looking for. And show me the things I got to fix. Basically that's it.
So are you using this right now to do that?
I'm using this for everything I'm doing here. We have not done anything, and I haven't talked to Terry about it because we got to change the CCS feedback so it goes into fog bugs and how to do that. But we're fixing to have that, and we're going to be using that for all of our WebDev or WinDev projects. So we'll have the feedback module in there automatically grabbing issues and errors and stuff like that, and we'll send it to fog bugs. Okay?
That's all done via email, so that's pretty simple.
Yeah, it's real
because
simple
it pops it in into the entries by email, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So fog bugs will be able to take all that, but I wanted to build something for me personally that fit more closer to what I'm doing with a little bit of addition to it. So that's the reason why Pete and I got together to put this together. Okay, and Pete's using it also for the stuff that he's doing. And so as far as I'm concerned, let's bar the doors, Katie. Everybody can take a stab at it. Maybe people want to do histograms and Gantt charts and all that other happy horse stuff that it's been around since dirt, and make it a full-blown project management system that does everything in its mother. I'm fine with that. Go for it. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, we'll probably use it for our November project.
Yeah, it's going to be fairly easy for the November project. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll keep things pretty much straight ahead. Because like if we have if we have something there and we want to change it, I can just change it, assign it to whomever is there, and you can look at things that are assigned to you, stuff like that. Okay. And that let people know what you're doing, what you're working on, things like that. we go forward. So
Okay.
we go from
Any
there.
other questions? Otherwise, we got enough hints out there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just a second.
Oops. Oh, that went fast.
He just couldn't resist.
Oh no, Terry's in the room. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Terry. You have no idea what I just did, did you?
Terry, he asked me to remind him.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, though. You got to admit, for all them Clarion boys out there.
It is. It is absolutely cool. And for anybody that can't quite figure out what the heck's going on, that is a Clarion window. Push the button, firing up and opening up WINDEV windows is what it's doing. So it is currently opening up a WINDEV window, and it will be able to open up any WINDEV window that we want. So we'll be
So
able
you almost could traverse through a whole application while you redevelop.
Well, the idea behind me on this is that we will be able to, and this gives a little bit of excitement, we will be able to start taking all the reports and moving them off to WINDEV and calling them directly from Clarion. We'll be able to
Be able to start breaking out a lot of features. You know, any new features we can go ahead and write in WINDEV as long as we can contain them in a window that makes sense and looks right. So, you know, our problem is we've got so much code in Clarion, and we want to get to WINDEV. And this will expedite that by splitting the development and, you know, moving a lot of the code piece by piece. You know, as time, you know, you take a window for the weekend and say, hey, I'm going to fix this, and, you know, you port it over. I mean, with most of our code being on the SQL database, these windows are getting, you know, on the code side, they're getting slim. You know, where we had hundreds of lines of code in Clarion, there's, you know, maybe 20, 30 lines of code in WINDEV.
You know, I got to get out of TPS, I guess.
You got to suck it up, son. Got to figure out where you're going to go.
I don't know. Pete's going to hit me this way. You're going to hit me that way, man. I'm still on TPS on the fence.
Oh, Microsoft's helping push Andy my way.
Microsoft is making me look at options.
Hallelujah, baby.
Well, the problem with Microsoft is they're starting to look at licensing by layer, CPU layer. So you're looking at a license of four CPU licenses for a single CPU.
Somebody's telling me I should use TPS ODBC, but my biggest problem is my app is using ThinAt, so it's going through Thin Client. Until WinDev can do that. Ugh, I'm stuck.
So anyway, this little doodad here is going to be set up. It's going to be slick. And when we get it all working, this is what Terry's going to be teaching how to do in his WinDev seminar on a Saturday afternoon. Right, Terry?
Yeah, baby.
I reckon. I guess I've just gotten volunteered, so. You'll see me stumble around WinDev a little bit, but yeah.
hey, if you want a little comfort zone, maybe just kind of cover the interface between fog bugs and
yeah.
as a start. Okay.
That'll certainly allow us to have a see if it finds anything. Nope. Don't have that one in there.
Oh, did you see that?
That ain't good.
No.
Well, I have no idea how this program works, whether it works worth a darn or not, Terry. This is that demo they had in there that he's using to try to get it working. So, you know, you just you have no idea, of what's right.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
No, it don't
Terry,
like it.
Terry, you got anything else to say? Or Pete?
Nope.
No, I'm pretty much all tapped out, man.
Okay. Well, if we don't shut it down, Andy can talk for another hour. Okay.
No, I got things to do. I've been working all day.
Okay, I heard.
Terry's been slaving me like a dog all day.
Yeah,
I heard.
it was my choice. Yeah.
Terry, you got to get strong about that, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I need some mentoring with these old men. That's what it is.
All right, thanks a lot for everybody joining us. Appreciate it.
And
be good or be
record-
good at it, as we say.
recording stopped.
Shut it off.